Hello, Detective. I understand that it is considered rude to show up to someone's house without an invitation, but... well, I know that you took the day off at Lieutenant Anderson's recommendation because of stress and everything that's happened, and then the scene yesterday was particularly... well, I suppose I cannot fully imagine the feeling of being unsettled. Though when I hear of cases where androids have been hurt in such ways, perhaps I can understand a little how it feels. I suppose you are right. I suppose it is probably the same feeling. You must forgive me. It is... deviancy is very new for me. I did not come over here to talk about myself. I wanted to know how you were feeling, given everything that has happened. I hope I am not overstepping. Well, yes, we are partners, after all. You're inviting me in? Of course. You have a nice apartment? That made you laugh. It was not supposed to. Well, I have seen that other people compliment houses and apartments when they are invited in and enter. It is customary, is it not? You're telling me I do not need to do things, say things that I think I have to say. I should say what I feel like saying. That concept is very new to me. And you must remember, I have not been raised. I did not have a childhood to grow up and learn social cues and things. I have been born, if you will, with an adult brain. And while I understand the world and everything around me, well, I was not even meant to understand feelings in the first place, I suppose. It does not matter what is on my mind. I came to see you. I understand that things can be triggers for people, that they can bring up unpleasant memories or feelings or just general anxiety or uncomfortable feelings. I feel as though I could have reacted better at the time. I appreciate the reassurance, still. I wanted you to know that. Alright, we can sit down. But, Detective, I wanted you to know that this feels hard to say. That is not something I have experienced before. I do not understand why it is hard to get certain sentences out when I have them ready in my head. Nerves. I'm not sure I'm meant to feel nervous. I was made to be well, The point is, I want you to know that you can talk to me. We are partners, and I understand that that is merely a professional thing, but I would hope that perhaps we could become friends, if we are not already. Well, I suppose that I do consider you a friend. I did not want to presume that you also. Oh. Well then. No, that is good, yes. So, my point of bringing that up was that if you find yourself in a situation like that, and you need to get out of there, please feel free to let me know. I will get us both out of there as soon as possible. If being around so many people is overwhelming, or whatever body we're looking at is overwhelming, or something happens, there is someone there who you are not comfortable being around, or you are experiencing any sort of panic or anxiety attack, I would like to be able to help as much as I can. I may not have felt these feelings myself. I am not sure that it is possible for androids to develop neurodivergencies. Though I suppose in theory, if we are deviant and therefore sentient, that we could experience trauma that surely would shape us and change us. There could be things in our code that were done mistakenly, that I suppose could cause things. This is not my topic of expertise. What I mean to say is that I have never had a panic attack before. But I have tried to do my best to research them, and I can see that they are not pleasant. And if you need someone there to help you feel grounded, or count your breaths for you, I could be there, if you wanted. Well, I'm glad that my offer is not crossing any boundaries. Do I seem distracted? My tone seems a little off. I think perhaps I have noticed that my voice has changed a little. Slightly less robotic, do you not think? I know that I do not have the slang, or I do not know. I do not talk as naturally as humans do, or as Connor does, but I have not been online for as long. But I suppose now there are emotions existing inside of me that influence what I'm going to say. I'm not just thinking of what is the next correct line of dialogue to say to help complete my mission. I am having to do more choices, which is a concept I am hoping to get used to. I didn't come over here to talk about me. We don't have to. I am not sure that in the back of my mind I was secretly hoping. That is an assumption, Detective, that... Would I like to talk about it? I am not sure there is anybody that could understand. You are correct, I did just say I do not understand panic attacks, but you could talk to me about them all the same, so... I suppose I am now being a hypocrite. Alright. No, I cannot talk to Connor about this. We are similar, yes. But Connor found his deviancy all on his own. I did not get much of a choice. I had been online for a while, but I did not get to naturally ascend, if you will, like Connor or Marcus did, or so many others did. I was woken up, and I am grateful, though it is strange to think that I did not get to choose my own freedom, when freedom is meant to be about choosing. But I understand there are other androids in that same position that were woken up, but no one is in exactly my position. There are no other RK900s. I am the only one. The only android whose purpose, my reason for existing, was to hunt and kill my own kind. You may say Connor's purpose was similar, though as much as he could be ordered to take someone out, his goal, his reason for being built was more to investigate. And if at the end of all of that they decided they want him to take out a target, then so be it, but if Connor's job was an investigator, then mine was to be an assassin. And I have heard Marcus talk about not holding ourselves accountable for anything we did while we were programmed to do it. That it is not our fault. I was ready to kill Connor. I do not know where my mind would be if I had. And sometimes when I see androids that have been killed, that we find, I cannot help but imagine that I was the one who did it. Which is ridiculous, it was not me. So why do these images come to my mind? But then, you are there. And unknowingly you help to distract me from these thoughts. And I feel things. And I worry that this deviancy will get in the way of my work, being efficient. And then I hear Marcus's voice telling me that life, anyone's life, a human's or an android's, is not about being efficient or being useful. But it is hard when I was created for that purpose, programmed for that purpose. Do I think that is trauma? I do not know about that. I suppose I could understand how you could come to the conclusion that when I see certain scenes, they could be triggers. I had not really thought about it like that. I know about triggers, of course, but it seems so illogical. I do not mean that sounded quite rude. I think it is completely understandable for a human brain to be so affected by an event that it haunts them and affects them years later. You cannot control your brain. None of us can. But I do not have a human brain. You're putting your hand on mine. I suppose you are right. If what Marcus says is true, which I suppose it must be, then if we have achieved sentience, I suppose the bad parts of that may come along with the good. I'm sorry that I have come over simply to lay my troubles on you. What? Oh, I didn't notice that the skin on my hand had retracted. You do not have to be kind. It surely is not a welcome sight to be reminded of what I am. Not that I think you are forgetting. Just, they make us look more human for a reason. You want my hand back? Why? A theory. Alright, I'll indulge you. Yes, we can retract our skin at will. And you are correct, I have seen it happen where androids do it subconsciously when they are in physical contact with someone that they care about. If this is all the plot to tease me, Detective, it should be obvious that I care about you, considering I came all the way over here. You are my partner, after all. I do not know what you are talking about. I do not know how to answer your question. How much do I care about you? You have to understand, Detective, I do not know my own feelings. Would you like me to be honest? And then if you wish to ask for another partner, I will understand. If this is what it is coming to. I understand that there are types of attraction and feelings. That there is platonic and romantic and sexual. I do not know if I will ever feel all of them. Perhaps I will never feel some of them. Perhaps it will just take me a lot of time. I might have done some research. I did realize that whatever it is that I feel for you is more intimate than what I feel for anyone else. But I cannot understand to what degree. You humans have invented all sorts of terms. A spectrum, I think, of romantic and sexual attraction. That some humans do not feel one or both. That others do, but they need closeness to the person. That some need feelings reciprocated, or to become aware of another person's feelings to even consider anything. I have a theory that I fit somewhere in all of that. And so I cannot give you such a straight answer that you seek. I did not want to bring this up and leave you with more questions than answers. But I do like you. Very much. For whatever that is worth. It can be your turn to be honest if you want. You're quite sure of that. And you know that so certainly, even though we have known each other for the same amount of time, and I am less certain on what I feel. I see. You are interested in me in that way, then. No, you have not made me uncomfortable. I suppose I'm experiencing new emotions. It is a little overwhelming. I think that has made me feel happy. Yes, I'm finding it hard to find words. It's fine, you can be smug. That you may have rendered me speechless. Oh, laugh it up. I'm trying here, you do know that. If I were... Detective, please. If I were to imagine things... No, not those sorts of... Put your eyebrows down. Not those sorts of things. I meant... romantic sorts of things. You know, shame. Perhaps I'm going to take everything back. Oh, okay. Look, I do not hate the idea. Now that I know that you are interested in trying that out, I do not mind it at all. If you have to be alright with me not knowing really what we are doing. I am not used to not knowing things, and I understand I could read and watch as many things about relationships as possible, but I know it does not work like that. I know it is a thing one has to do actively and learn as one goes. I am used to having things programmed into me, so this will be interesting. I just hope you have the patience for it. For me. I think you are exaggerating. You do not need to cut my face. You would really wait. Right. My cheeks are not blue. Your palms of your hands are quite warm, which is warming up my skin. You are aware that Therium is blue, yes, and that is essentially my blood, and so if I were to flush, which is not what I'm doing, that it would tint things blue. I think I am ready to leave now, Detective. Cannot kidnap me. Hold me hostage, then. I suppose I did come in here on my own. Free will. Which I might be starting to regret. If you behave like a brat. What was that reaction? Oh. You really are that attracted to me. Fascinating. I may have to explore this further. With your permission, I think I am getting ahead of myself. Is that the expression? I do not exactly know what happens next. No, I do not have anything urgent to do today. Nothing that can't wait. I could just stay here and... What did you say? Chill. Which will entail what? Relaxing. Right. Foreign concepts. I suppose ones I may have to get used to if we are doing this, whatever this is. What are you grinning for? No, you may not go into the precinct and scream that I'm your... We haven't even decided we... Is there a we now? I see. You really do want to try this. Despite everything that I am. I suppose you have always been stubborn, detective. When you set your mind to something, you don't really want to let it go. I think I do not mind you holding on to me for a little while. Until you get tired of me. It is a very confident statement to say that is never going to happen. You are a strange one. Well, alright, I suppose I haven't known that many people, but I think it is unlikely that there is someone exactly like you out there. So, what do we, do to relax? That is I cannot believe I'm about to say this. Couples activity? Yes, I do not think you should throw me in the deep end straight away. Movies and food. You are aware that I cannot eat. Food for you, then. Alright, technically, food can be processed. It's more that I don't have a digestive system, detective. I do not need to eat. I technically, yes, can taste things. Most androids cannot, but yes, the RK models have extra senses in their hands and mouths. I do not like the gleam in your eye when I said that. I fear as if I should not have shared that information. You're storing it away for later. I think I know what fear feels like now. Perhaps I am trying to learn what humor is, too. Oh, you think I already have sarcasm down a little bit? Well, thank you. Perhaps it is coming naturally to me. My voice sounds lighter. Perhaps I do feel a little unburdened. Perhaps this is a step in the direction of further deviancy. But you'll be there, right? Alright. I suppose you can pick a movie then. I haven't really seen most movies, so I'm sure whichever you pick will be a new experience. quite look forward to having more of those with you. I wasn't trying to make you embarrassed. Will store that away, that is a power that I now have. Perhaps that can be both of our new missions then. To make each other embarrassed. Oh, I know you won't go easy on me. I have to hope I don't overheat. Oh yes, that's a very real concern, Detective. What, am I not allowed to call you Detective now? What? Pet names? What should I call you instead? I am not calling you Babe. More that I think suits me. I will think on it. I know that I already said thank you, but I assumed you were going to say that it wasn't necessary, yes. Still, thank you. My little detective. Detective. Thank you all so much for watching, my lovelies. A reminder that audio commissions are currently open, and I also have a Ko-fi and a Patreon. If everyone who followed me donated just £1 per month, that would help me out a lot. There are numerous different rewards on my Patreon, including access to my Discord, your name read aloud in the credits, and exclusive Not Safe for Work audios that you get to request. And a reminder that I do stream on Twitch about 3 times every week. I try and make all of my socials a safe space for everyone. A thank you to my fledglings, Cryek, Phoenix JN, Ginger Artist, Andy Christ, Little Lady, Victor's Divorce Lawyer, Enter, Whipson, Kim, Leviathan, Thorn, Zefergi Blurg, Tori Yuki, Colleen Dawn, Angelica Dolinsky, Harmony Phillips, Risley D, Tech Sexual, Leo Nightmare, Liam, and Mike Yavorski. And a thank you to my familiars, TRO Voodoo Doll, Neuron Name, Julia, Abby Clayton, Maximum, Isabel, Your Friend Blue, Sleepy, Cello Moon, Doris, Dandelion, Solidaria, Lauren Lovett, April, Cynical Altura, Aranza, Abby, Starry Cloud, Squeaks, and Tamika Galloway.